Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Angular distance above the horizon, especially of a celestial object. The event of something being raised upward. An elevation of the temperature in the afternoon. The act of increasing the wealth or prestige or power or scope of something. His elevation to cardinal. The highest level or degree attainable. The highest stage of development. A raised or elevated geological formation. Ballet. The height of a dancer's leap or jump. A dancer of exceptional elevation. Distance of something above a reference point, such as sea level. There was snow at the higher elevations. Drawing of an exterior of a structure. Angular distance above the horizon, especially of a celestial object. Angular distance above the horizon, especially of a celestial object. Elevation especially above sea level or above the Earth's surface. The altitude gave her a headache. The perpendicular distance from the base of a geometric figure to the opposite vertex, or side if parallel. Angular distance above the horizon, especially of a celestial object. A railway that is powered by electricity and that runs on a track that is raised above the street level. Lifting device consisting of a platform or cage that is raised and lowered mechanically in a vertical shaft in order to move people from one floor to another in a building. Raise or haul up with or as if with mechanical help. The act of raising something. He responded with a lift of his eyebrow. Fly people or goods to or from places not accessible by other means. Food is airlifted into Bosnia. Invigorate or heighten. Lift my spirits. Make off with belongings of others. Transportation of people or goods by air, especially when other means of access are unavailable. Rise up. Cancel officially. Lift an embargo. Perform cosmetic surgery on someone's face. Take illegally. A wave that lifts the surface of the water or ground. Put an end to. Lift a ban. Plastic surgery to remove wrinkles and other signs of aging from your face. An incision is made near the hairline and skin is pulled back and excess tissue is excised. Some actresses have more than one facelift. The event of something being raised upward. Raise from a lower to a higher position. Move upwards. Lift one's eyes. Take without referencing from someone else's writing or speech, of intellectual property. The component of the aerodynamic forces acting on an airfoil that opposes gravity. Move upward. The fog lifted. Raise in rank or condition. The new law lifted many people from poverty. A powered conveyance that carries skiers up a hill. A device worn in a shoe or boot to make the wearer look taller or to correct a shortened leg. A ride in a car. He gave me a lift home. Call to stop the hunt or to retire, as of hunting dogs. Make audible. He lifted a war whoop. One of the layers forming the heel of a shoe or boot. Pay off, a mortgage. Remove from a seedbed or from a nursery. Lift the tulip bulbs. Remove from a surface. The detective carefully lifted some fingerprints from the table. Remove hair by scalping. Rise upward, as from pressure or moisture. The floor is lifting slowly. Take hold of something and move it to a different location. Lift the box onto the table. Take off or away by decreasing. Lift the pressure. Take root crops out of the ground. Lift potatoes. The act of giving temporary assistance. The event of something being raised upward. A raising of the land resulting from volcanic activity. The properties acquired as a consequence of the way you were treated as a child. Helping someone grow up to be an accepted member of the community. Increasing in quantity or value. A cost-raising increase in the basic wage rate. The act of increasing the wealth or prestige or power or scope of something. The act of increasing the wealth or prestige or power or scope of something. The aggrandizement of the king. The highest point of something. The highest level or degree attainable. The highest stage of development. His landscapes were deemed the acme of beauty. Elevation especially above sea level or above the Earth's surface. The vertical dimension of extension. Distance from the base of something to the top. Of a standing person, the distance from head to foot. The highest level or degree attainable. The highest stage of development. At the height of her career. Being at the best stage of development. An imaginary great circle on the surface of the Earth passing through the North and South poles at right angles to the equator. All points on the same meridian have the same longitude. The highest level or degree attainable. The highest stage of development. A town in eastern Mississippi. Of or happening at noon. Meridian hour. The highest point of something. At the peak of the pyramid. A V shape. The most extreme possible amount or value. Voltage peak. To reach the highest point. Attain maximum intensity, activity. That wild, speculative spirit peaked in 1929. The top or extreme point of something, usually a mountain or hill. The view from the peak was magnificent. A brim that projects to the front to shade the eyes. The highest level or degree attainable. The highest stage of development. The peak of perfection. The period of greatest prosperity or productivity. The highest level or degree attainable. The highest stage of development. Catapulted Einstein to the pinnacle of fame. A lofty peak. Architecture. A slender upright spire at the top of a buttress of tower. Raise on or as if on a pinnacle. He did not want to be pinnacled. Surmount with a pinnacle. Pinnacle a pediment. Reach the summit of a mountain. Many mountaineers go up Mount Everest but not all summit. The top or extreme point of something, usually a mountain or hill. The region is a few molecules wide at the summit. The highest level or degree attainable. The highest stage of development. The summit of his ambition. A meeting of heads of governments. The superlative form of an adjective or adverb. Fastest is the superlative of the adjective, fast. Highest in quality. The highest level or degree attainable. The highest stage of development. So many highest superlatives achieved by man. An exaggerated expression, usually of praise. The critics lavished superlatives on it. Of the highest quality. An athlete in tip-top condition. The highest level or degree attainable. The highest stage of development. The extreme top or summit. Be the culminating event. The first half of an inning, while the visiting team is at bat. A relief pitcher took over in the top of the fifth. Pass by, over, or under without making contact. The balloon cleared the treetops. A canvas tent to house the audience at a circus performance. They had the big top up in less than an hour. A conical child's plaything tapering to a steel point on which it can be made to spin. He got a bright red top and string for his birthday. Be superior or better than some standard. She topped her performance of last year. Cut the top off. Top trees and bushes. Provide with a top or finish the top of a structure. The towers were topped with conical roofs. The highest or uppermost side of anything. Put your books on top of the desk. Be ahead of others. Be the first. She topped her class every year. Covering for a hole, especially a hole in the top of a container. He removed the top of the carton. The top or extreme point of something, usually a mountain or hill. Finish up or conclude. They topped off their dinner with a cognac. The highest level or degree attainable. The highest stage of development. At the top of his profession. A garment, especially for women, that extends from the shoulders to the waist or hips. He stared as she buttoned her top. Be at the top of or constitute the top or highest point. A star tops the Christmas tree. Platform surrounding the head of a lower mast. Reach or ascend the top of. The hikers topped the mountain just before noon. Situated at the top or highest position. The top shelf. Strike, the top part of a ball in golf, baseball, or pool, giving it a forward spin. The greatest possible intensity. He screamed at the top of his lungs. The upper part of anything. The mower cuts off the tops of the grass. A raised or elevated geological formation. Relation by which any position with respect to any other position is established. A movement upward. The act of changing location in an upward direction. An upward slope or grade, as in a road. Get up and out of bed. An increase in cost. They asked for a 10% rise in rates. Return from the dead. Christ is risen. Theology, the origination of the Holy Spirit at Pentecost. A movement upward. They cheered the rise of the hot air balloon. Rise up. Increase in volume. Come up, of celestial bodies. The sun also rises. The amount a salary is increased. The act of changing location in an upward direction. Go up or advance. A wave that lifts the surface of the water or ground. Move to a better position in life or to a better job. Rise in rank or status. Come into existence. Take on form or shape. Increase in value or to a higher point. An upward slope or grade, as in a road. The car couldn't make it up the rise. Take part in a rebellion. Renounce a former allegiance. The property possessed by a slope or surface that rises. Increase in price or value. Become more extreme. Come to the surface. Move upward. Rise to one's feet. A growth in strength or number or importance. Exert oneself to meet a challenge. Rise to a challenge. Organized opposition to authority. A conflict in which one faction tries to wrest control from another. A movement upward. Sloping upward. Coming to maturity. The rising generation. Advancing or becoming higher or greater in degree or value or status. A rising trend. Newly come into prominence. A rising young politician. A movement upward. Christianity. Celebration of the ascension of Christ into heaven, observed on the 40th day after Easter. New Testament. The rising of the body of Jesus into heaven on the 40th day after his resurrection. The act of changing location in an upward direction. Astronomy. The rising of a star above the horizon. The amount by which something increases. They proposed an increase of 15% in the fare. The act of increasing something. He gave me an increase in salary. A quantity that is added. A process of becoming larger or longer or more numerous or more important. The increase in unemployment. A change resulting in an increase. The increase is scheduled for next month. Become bigger or greater in amount. The amount of work increased. Make bigger or more. The boss finally increased her salary. The act of increasing something. A specific identifiable position in a continuum or series or especially in a process. A remarkable degree of frankness. A measure for arcs and angles. There are 360 degrees in a circle. An award conferred by a college or university signifying that the recipient has satisfactorily completed a course of study. He earned his degree at Princeton summa cum laude. A position on a scale of intensity or amount or quality. It is all a matter of degree. A unit of temperature on a specified scale. The game was played in spite of the 40-degree temperature. The highest power of a term or variable. The seriousness of something, e.g., a burn or crime. Murder in the second degree. Plan, organize, and carry out an event. The neighboring tribe staged an invasion. Perform, a play, especially on a stage. We are going to stage Othello. A specific identifiable position in a continuum or series or especially in a process. At what stage are the social sciences? Any distinct time period in a sequence of events. We are in a transitional stage in which many former ideas must be revised or rejected. A small platform on a microscope where the specimen is mounted for examination. A section or portion of a journey or course. Then we embarked on the second stage of our Caribbean cruise. A large coach and four formerly used to carry passengers and mail on regular routes between towns. We went out of town together by stage about 10 or 12 miles. A large platform on which people can stand and can be seen by an audience. He clambered up onto the stage and got the actors to help him into the box. Any scene regarded as a setting for exhibiting or doing something. All the world's a stage. The theater is a profession, usually, the stage. An early movie simply showed a long kiss by two actors of the contemporary stage. Be oriented. The weather vane points north. Sail close to the wind. Repair the joints of bricks. Point a chimney. Any of 32 horizontal directions indicated on the card of a compass. He checked the point on his compass. Be a signal for or a symptom of. Her behavior points to a severe neurosis. A specific identifiable position in a continuum or series or especially in a process. A distinct part that can be specified separately in a group of things that could be enumerated on a list. The main point on the agenda was taken up first. An outstanding characteristic. His acting was one of the high points of the movie. A V shape. The cannibal's teeth were filed to sharp points. A contact in the distributor. As the rotor turns, its projecting arm contacts them and current flows to the spark plugs. The dot at the left of a decimal fraction. Direct into a position for use. Point a gun. Indicate a place, direction, person, or thing, either spatially or figuratively. He pointed to the empty parking space. The property of a shape that tapers to a sharp tip. The gun muzzle's direction. He held me up at the point of a gun. A V-shaped mark at one end of an arrow pointer. The point of the arrow was due north. An isolated fact that is considered separately from the whole. A point of information. A wall socket. An instant of time. At that point I had to leave. A very small circular shape. A row of points. Direct the course. Determine the direction of traveling. Give a point to. Intend something, to move towards a certain goal. A punctuation mark, placed at the end of a declarative sentence to indicate a full stop or after abbreviations. A brief version of the essential meaning of something. Get to the point. A distinguishing or individuating characteristic. He knows my bad points as well as my good points. A geometric element that has position but no extension. A point is defined by its coordinates. A linear unit used to measure the size of type, approximately 1/72 inch. A promontory extending out into a large body of water. They sailed south around the point. A style in speech or writing that arrests attention and has a penetrating or convincing quality or effect. Be positionable in a specified manner. The gun points with ease. Indicate the presence of game by standing and pointing with the muzzle. The dog pointed the dead duck. Mark, a psalm text, to indicate the points at which the music changes. Mark, Hebrew words, with diacritics. Mark with diacritics. Point the letter. 1% of the total principal of a loan. It is paid at the time the loan is made and is independent of the interest on the loan. Sharp end. He stuck the point of the knife into a tree. The object of an activity. What is the point of discussing it? The precise location of something, a spatially limited location. She walked to a point where she could survey the whole street. The unit of counting in scoring a game or contest. He scored 20 points in the first half. A specific identifiable position in a continuum or series or especially in a process. Indicator that establishes the horizontal when a bubble is centered in a tube of liquid. A flat surface at right angles to a plumb line. Park the car on the level. Direct into a position for use. Of the score in a contest. Become level or even. The ground leveled off. Tear down so as to make flat with the ground. The building was leveled. An abstract place usually conceived as having depth. A good actor communicates on several levels. A relative position or degree of value in a graded group. Having a surface without slope, tilt in which no part is higher or lower than another. Acres of level farmland. Not showing abrupt variations. Spoke in a level voice. A position on a scale of intensity or amount or quality. A high level of care is required. A structure consisting of a room or set of rooms at a single position along a vertical scale. What level is the office on? Make level or straight. Level the ground. Aim at. Level criticism or charges at somebody. Being on a precise horizontal plane. A billiard table must be level. Height above ground. The water reached ankle level. Oriented at right angles to the plumb. The picture is level. Talk frankly with. Lay it on the line. I have to level with you. Geology, the geological features of the Earth. The act of forming or establishing something. The act of fabricating something in a particular shape. An arrangement of people or things acting as a unit. A defensive formation. A particular spatial arrangement. Creation by mental activity. The formation of sentences. Natural process that causes something to form. The formation of gas in the intestine. Geology, the geological features of the Earth.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.